Dr. Selva-Murthy, let me bring you in here. Fast breeder reactors, they come with their own complexity and the risks as well. We talk about the sodium coolant, the reprocessing, the costs that, Professor already spoke about. From a national strategic lens, where do we stand? How should India now balance this new ambition that we have, of course, with caution, and the foresight that has been lacking, like Professor Karnad pointed out?
Thank you very much for having me in this show. And let me first of all congratulate the scientists of Department of Atomic Energy for this wonderful path-breaking, disruptive, very important milestone in terms of augmenting the nuclear energy in our country. And so my compliments. And our country now has set a vision. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has set a vision that India should become a Viksit Bharat by 2047, for which energy plays a primordial role. And we have also looked at two things, inclusive growth and sustainable development. So when you look at energy, we need sustainable energy. So in this sustainable energy, India is looking at all options because we have declared by 2070, India will become a carbon neutral. So if we have to achieve this, we are looking at the solar power, we are looking at other renewables, green hydrogen, electric power, and also the nuclear power. So currently, the nuclear power contribution in terms of our power requirement, which is 420 gigawatts, is the installed electricity capacity today, of which only 2 to 3% comes from the nuclear power, which is very, very, very less. When you look at the France, it is almost 60 to 70% of their power requirement comes from the nuclear power. Similarly, when you look at the US, 80 to 20%. And then Russia, almost 20% of their energy requirement, electricity requirement comes through the nuclear power. So this is where we are 2 to 3%. We should augment this, and for which this is a very important achievement in terms of technology demonstration today. The second stage of this three-stage India's nuclear program, nuclear energy program, that which we have. This is a very important milestone, and the
Have we
criticality which has
completely
been achieved
unlocked
today.
stage two, Dr. Selva-Murthy, or are we still in that transitioning phase? Is it safe to say we've completely unlocked stage two?
Yes, it has reached criticality, means we have already reached that the matured stage of the second stage. But then now we have to prepare, as was discussed, that thorium based, which is the stage three. Because this is the step which will lead to thorium based, because we have almost 1 million ton reserves of thorium in the beaches in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and the other beaches. So we have a high reserves. 25% of the world reserves of thorium is in India. As was rightly mentioned, the largest thorium, the reserves are available. So that is why this is critical. And this is very
Okay.
significant because this will lead to, this is a fuel multiplier reactor. That is, when you are having the uranium as a fuel, and then which we don't have much reserves. So then this uranium gets converted into plutonium, and then plutonium also can lead to thorium-based the fuel consumption. So, and then you are regenerating the nuclear, the fuel. So you are not depleting the fuel, you are using the fuel and generating more fuel. So that is, in simple term, the achievement of this particular procedure. And when you look at also, we have almost 23 operational reactors in the country today. And they're all mostly pressurized heavy water reactors.
Yep.
But now we are going to have a game changer in this particular thing, coming into the three-stage nuclear program, achieving criticality, Kudankulam nuclear power plant, and many others. But here the uranium and the moderator is heavy reactor. Heavy water is the moderator in this particular technology, which is being used currently. But now the whole thing will change. As you rightly said, the sodium coolant is one concern because this is highly the explosive material in terms of if you use this coolant. the safety concerns are there, which is
Yeah.
being addressed. Because for every problem, there is a technological solution.
Yeah.
So India will develop that technological
Let's not damp
solution.
the situation, Dr. Silvamurthy. You know, I think it's a red letter day when it comes to our nuclear prowess. Just a couple of days back, we were talking about U.S. versus China when it was the Artemis and, you know, the lunar race that we were talking about, or what role India could play. From a strategic standpoint, this is real significant, the milestone that we've reached in reducing India's energy vulnerability and, of course, the external dependence.